Welcome back, everyone, to the Sports Opinion. We're looking today at the first round of the Rugby Championship. So we're looking at the Springboks versus Australia first. I want to break this down. I mean, I watched this live, and here in Australia, our kickoff was 1 a.m. And yeah, look, this game kept me up because it was exciting from the kickoff, and it looked like it was going to go either way. I mean, for the first 15 minutes, everyone was thinking Australia. I mean, I even picked Australia. I don't support Australia. I support the Springboks. I was born in South Africa, but I also lived in New Zealand for 11 years as well, and then now live in Australia for 5 years. So I've been through all the different countries and kind of seen how everyone supports them. Yeah, this first 15 minutes, everyone was thinking Australia. I was thinking Australia. Even before the game, like I said, I picked Australia to win. I would have had all my money on, at the start when the teams are first named, Australia was a plus 9.5. It's at underdog, so I was thinking 9.5 points easily. But yeah, that first try by Koroibete, I was just like, all right, they might run away with it here. Yeah, this is the first try here. So great win by Klein. I think he played a great game for South Africa, just coming back from playing for Ireland, and now he's playing for South Africa. And that's John Klein, and I think he had a great game. He was solid in the rucks. He was good with his running. He won the lineouts that he needed to win, and he also won, I think, 1 or 2 against the throw as well. That's just a lucky bounce of Alalatua. Good offload. Good ball by Cooper. And then just good hands here. And there was just no numbers. There was no one else covering behind Bululuru and Koroibete. Just, if you give him space, he's going to score on you, right? Like, he is a great player. Now, that's where it all changed, okay? You can see it here. The whole change of traffic. I mean, straight away, then Mani Libok gets a penalty, brings it back a bit. Kurt Lee scores a great try in the corner. Kurt Lee scores again. And yeah, I'll show you a couple of his tries soon. But yeah, South Africa ends on a very high note in the first half. Straight away, second half, Arendse with his hat-trick. I mean, I don't know how he scored that try. It was just a great, great try. Then it was a penalty try. Parecki bringing down the maul over the try line pretty much just before it. And yeah, he put himself in a bad situation. The ref actually said held up because Parecki was actually the one under the ball holding him up. The touch judge, I believe he's from Italy, I believe, he said, no, go upstairs, have a look, because I believe he pulled down the maul. Had a look upstairs, you can see him pulling down the maul, and he was the one actually holding him up. So, yellow card and a penalty try. And then a lot of changes come on. You know, the front row for South Africa gets changed. Few changes. I mean, everyone starts going on for Australia. And then it was a bit of a quiet period. You know, for 15 minutes, no points. And then it was another penalty try again. Suliasu Vunivalu. It was pretty much going to be another try in the corner. And he put his hands out, put his right hand out, put his right leg out as well to show that he's not trying to intercept it. So penalty try and a yellow card as well. Peter Steff finishes off. I mean, with that last try was, you know, it would have been 10, 15 phases of just big ball runners at the line. But great defense was holding it out from Australia. And then, yeah, just finish it off with not enough numbers in the end. And he just had an easy try put down. Pulled down. Marika nearly gets the steal.
Kitsoff getting front foot ball.
And it's just a couple of phases here.
And plenty over on the left. Mbonambi.
Good ball. Knocked backwards. They did look at it and it was knocked back. And just quick hands by Stazen. Curtly just there. I think this was nearly one of South Africa's best work tries. This is their second try and Lee Arendse's second. A good line out. Bring it down, and yeah, Van Staden reads it well. Bongi knows he's there, just too much pace on the outside. It's just a good try in the end. I do want a special mention here for Gordon, who finished off the game well for Australia. And he looked kind of like he wanted to try different things. And he learned that with that rush defense that South Africa plays, he learned, you know, put a little grubber kick through and hope for the best, really. And that's what he does here. A little grubber kick through. Marika chases hard. Big left foot step. And he's got on debut with nearly a full field try. So good on him. He's definitely got the ugliest hairstyle on the team too with the big mullet. But yeah, he deserved that try in the end. But looking at the stats, I mean, carries crossed the gain line. South Africa way more clean breaks. Defenders beaten, nearly the same. Lineouts lost, so both teams obviously got to work on that a little bit. Obviously, South Africa not maybe having their best locks in there, but still should have done better. Missed tackles, quite a few from both teams to work on. Penalties conceded by Australia, 13 penalties conceded. 63% possession for South Africa. And yeah, their scrum was dominant. I mean, that the first three with Kitsoff, Bongi, and Malherba, you could just tell they were destroying the Australian pack. Just much more solid. You can look at the tackles, 139 tackles to 58 and 60-40 to South Africa in the territory. So a great performance by them to pull it off. I mean, with Australia with nearly a full strength side, I'd say, still missing a couple players, but yeah, worrying signs if you're a Wallaby supporter. But yeah, Cooper defends Wallabies, horror show in Pretoria. And I mean, Quade Cooper had a very average game. He was, you can hear the commentators also saying, John de Villiers saying, we haven't even heard his name much because he just wasn't getting involved like he usually does. Now, the second game, New Zealand versus Argentina. So I thought this was going to be much closer. I mean, watching the national anthems, Argentina always as proud as ever. The only thing I kind of worry about the haka these days, it's taking so long. If you look back in the day, I mean, in the 80s, 90s, the haka was pretty quick. But nowadays, the new haka is, takes like 3-4 minutes. And yeah, it's a big advantage for them, but it is what it is. And yeah, Argentina, I thought they were going to be a bit closer in the end, especially with how they played last year. But yeah, you can see here, Coles, Artie Sevilla, Geordie Barrett, Rico Ioane. So at this point, 24-0 up. Yellow card for Bruni from Argentina. Aaron Smith with a try. So yeah, going into halftime, 31-0 up. And yeah, at least the second half, the Argentinians pulled it back. They started playing a bit more of the Puma rugby that we know, with a couple of offloads and just kind of on the attack instead of sitting back and trying to just kick it. Then Beauden Barrett crosses again. Narawa crosses on the debut as well. And then Argentina finishes with a try to make it 41-12 in the end. You can see clean breaks, New Zealand 7-2. Their kicking let them down. Damien McKenzie, only 3 kicks, conversions from 7 conversion attempts to 4 missed. Maybe a worrying sign for New Zealand as well. 25 missed tackles to Argentina, only missing 22, which is, you wouldn't expect that with the scoreline. Lineouts lost again, 3 lineouts lost to Argentina, 2 for New Zealand. Penalties conceded, 12-9, quite even. Possession, 51-49 for All Blacks. 1 scrum loss for Argentina. Tackles, all that type of things are very even. In the end, territory goes Argentina's way, as it usually does with their good open field kicking. But yeah, just New Zealand, as in their under-20s as well, they just play a very, as we know, a counter-attacking game. And that's why on the stats, they don't always look like they're destroying a team. But you look at the scoreline, you're like, what happened? Because New Zealand can just put it on you. And with this team, it's a very attacking football team. If you watch that game, they constantly looked like they can score from anywhere on the field, like the old New Zealand used to. I know they lost in the last couple of years where, they looked a bit maybe one-dimensional with the counter-attack, but maybe with Fozzie getting a bit of pressure and now being let go after the World Cup, he's maybe implemented a new couple of things as well. So, I mean, you just look at that backline. Damien McKenzie, Caleb Clark, Geordie Barrett, Rico Ioane, Imoni Narawa, and Beauden Barrett. So, pace to burn and, yeah, a worrying backline for anyone playing against him, really. But apart from that, Argentina held up well, and it's just they didn't have that attacking flair. Then first half let them down big time. I'm not sure if the occasion, maybe the first game back for the international game, got to them a little bit. But yeah, New Zealand played very well. As you can see, it's just a couple of soft tries that Argentina allowed New Zealand to get. It was just nearly straight through the middle. Just a bit easy, like just that short hands that New Zealand forwards have. Dane Cole's backing up in the inside. Now look at this. Who else, in international rugby really does this? So in their own 22, great ball here, quick hands, Geordie to Beauden.
Beauden Barrett streaking down the left flank. He's
Back
got
to Geordie.
Geordie inside him, and he'll score.
That was just straight after the last one.
Inside the first 11 minutes for the...
No, not many other teams in the world can really do that, can they? Now, as Argentina always does, strong line out and a very strong maul, and they finish it off with a try. at least in front of the home crowd, you can hear them. They were very loud the whole game, and it was very good to see. You could, you know, refs can call stretching out. El Capitano.
In his 98th Test match.
Wow, well done to him. But one thing that's been frustrating me, you can see it more and more recently in malls. Like, look at this. They just, Frizzell is just making a nuisance. They're straight in the side, not working away from the middle. To me, that's already a penalty advantage right there. And then if he doesn't score a penalty try and a yellow card as well. It's just blatant. You can see them just trying to slow it down. In the olden days, you got to release right there and, you know, come back around again. But refs let it go more and more these days. But yeah, so prediction for the next round, I believe a couple big games coming up. I'm not too sure who's in the team yet, as it is only Monday, but the Springboks name a strong side. I believe if it's, you know, a bit of good weather, I think it's going to be a very close game. It can go either way. I still think, even though I'm a Springbok supporter, New Zealand might edge it out if it's a bit of a drier rugby, but if there's a little bit of wetness, I think South Africa could pull it out just with their kicking game and also their big brute forwards at the moment. They're looking very, very sharp. To me, this is one of the sharpest we've looked, especially in that last game against Australia, just physically, and everyone seems to be on the same page. So them changing up the team, maybe it's not going to do as well as the last week, but we'll see. Then Australia and Argentina, this can go either way as well. I'm thinking the way Australia played, I think Argentina wins this. I mean, they pulled off the win against Australia, I think it was last year or the year before, in Australia as well. So I can see Argentina winning it if the ball bounces their way and they get a couple penalties. You know, Argentina, one of those teams where if they play from in front, they're going to win the game. So we'll see how it goes, and if it's good weather, either way as well. Hopefully you did enjoy it. If you did, leave a like. Also comment, let me know what you think. Do you think who's going to win the next games? Let me know below what you reckon the score will be as well. Let me know what you thought about the games from the last round. And subscribe if you do want to see future videos. Hopefully I'll be able to make ones every single round going ahead into the World Cup, because, yeah, super excited for that. So hopefully you enjoyed it. I'll see you guys in the next video.